The Boeing 717 is one unique airplane. Originally known as the McDonnell Douglas MD-95, the program was soon renamed to the Boeing 717 following the Boeing McDonnell Douglas merger in 1997. The 717 was never really popular, and these days only 3 carriers, Delta, Hawaiian, and QantasLink, are operating the aircraft. Delta is the largest 717 operator and operate the plane on a wide range of short to medium haul routes, like the one I'm flying today from their largest hub in Atlanta across to Dallas Love Field. I'm glad you're joining me today, so let's get this journey started. After arriving from St. Louis, I had a roughly 2-hour connection here in the world's busiest airport. Despite being such a vast and busy airport, connecting through Atlanta is really easy. The concourses are all connected by underground walkways and the automated people mover, more famously known as the plane train. Delta's hub operation in Atlanta is super impressive and also quite interesting. As far as domestic flights go, Delta seemingly assigns certain aircraft to certain concourses. For example, if you have a domestic flight on a 757 or 767, the vast majority of those flights go into or out of either concourses A or B, unless the aircraft arrives from an international origin or departs to an international destination. Similarly, all of Delta's 717 operations in Atlanta are divided amongst concourses C and D, and as such, today's flight will be departing from gate C40. When you look at a Boeing 717, you can't help but notice that this plane is literally an MD-80 and DC-9 hybrid, and you're not wrong because that's pretty much exactly what it is. The 717 is a shortened version of the MD-80 and the 3rd generation of the DC-9 family, which of course contains the DC-9s, MD-80s, MD-90s, and 717s, which are also technically called MD-95s. Delta currently operates 63 717s with a further 25 or so out of service. All of these planes previously flew with AirTran, which of course was taken over by Southwest in 2011. Southwest didn't want the AirTran 717s, so instead Delta took all of them to boost their short and medium haul network. At the moment, Delta plans to keep their 717s for many years to come, even hinting at retrofitting their cabins to match the rest of the mainline fleet. Whether or not this will actually happen remains to be seen.
Originally titled The Void, but changed to Mark 1 as to not scare execs at the label EMI. The song was full of pre-recorded tape loops, sped up by reverse. That featured John Lennon.
The Delta 717-200 is fitted with 110 seats consisting of 12 in first class, 20 in Comfort Plus, and 78 in main cabin. Just like the legendary DC-9 and MD-80s, the cabin layout is 2-2 in first class and 2-3 for the rest of the aircraft. Today I'm seated in 27A, and the seats are nearly identical to the rest of the mainline fleet, which is good because they're quite comfortable. The seat back, despite the lack of an in-flight entertainment screen and interesting tray table system, is also pretty much the same. There are of course 2 seat pockets, one for personal items and the other for literature. The 717 overall definitely feels more cramped, but that's just because it's a relatively small plane. The legroom really isn't that bad. There are also power outlets in between seats, although it's just 1 per 2 seats and 2 per 3 seats. And I'm not sure how much longer this is going to go on for, but upon boarding we received sanitizing wipes, which I definitely appreciate. Above the seat you'll find the personal air vent and reading light. Maybe I was just tired or something, I literally could not find where the call buttons were. Row 27 is probably not the best place to sit on the 717. I would definitely say it's either row 26 or 25. Rows 27 and back progressively get more obstructed by the engine, so for the best of both worlds, engine view and wing view, I definitely say go for row 26.
Seat can also be used for flotation, instructions for operation or outline, seat information card located in your seat pocket. Also refer to the seat information Current restriction on life is for children when you less than 35 pounds.
Refreshments on today's flight consisted of 4 choices of snack and choice of drink. I went for the Biscoff cookies like my previous flight, and to drink I decided to have a Coke because at this point I hadn't slept in well over 24 hours. In terms of entertainment, the 717 has in-flight Wi-Fi, which doesn't really offer much free stuff aside from checking destination weather or sending messages. Internet access is $18 for the entire flight and $5.50 for 30 minutes. Yeah, not worth it at all. I noticed the 717 Wi-Fi doesn't offer streaming entertainment, which makes sense. I mean, these planes aren't really used on long flights at all, so there's really no use for it. After a really nice cruising period, we began our arrival into Dallas. This was my first time flying into Love Field, so naturally I was expecting some pretty nice views of downtown Dallas as we came into land. We flew right past downtown and Love Field on downwind before making a 180-degree turn over Carrollton and Farmers Branch, passing DFW Airport and landing on runway 13 right. Overall, service-wise, there was not much to complain about on today's flight. Good service from Delta as always today, combined with an on-time flight, is really all that matters. Of course, the main reason I opted to fly into Love Field over DFW this time was just to fly the 717, which, fun fact, is the only aircraft Delta flies into this airport, and also only from Atlanta. Great flight, great experience, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for joining me today. After a week in Dallas, I would head directly back to Chicago on Southwest, and I hope to publish that ordeal soon, so subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out. Feel free to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed, and that's it. Until next time, take care everyone, and I'll see you later.